Why?
Everybody is
Obviously, they
going
will
to
ban
stab.
Chumma, one gun waste.
Everybody is going to stab him. It's like this is a genre that only Balaya should do and nobody else, because I don't think anybody else will be accepted by the viewers. Name it all. You can exaggerate, go to that level because the film goes
And
to all those levels.
still, Boyapati exaggeration is nowhere close to your exaggeration. Even 1980s acting is still kind of sober if you compare with how Boyapati Sreenu's to become a superhero character of its own. Like you can have comic books around it.
Hello and welcome to India Today. I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And this is Maruthi Acharya. We just completed watching the latest Telugu pan-India BalaKrishna Boyapati film Akhanda 2 Tandavam. Yes, Boyapati cinema, Balaya cinema, they are a genre. When they come together, that becomes a different genre. There's no logic, there's only magic. So in terms of entertainment, Akhanda 2 also, just like Akhanda 1, will definitely satisfy you. But I feel Akhanda 2, especially the second half of Akhanda 2, is one of the weakest second halves of Boyapati Sreenu films, especially in recent times.
This is a Balaya film, is what I would have liked to said in the start. But this is an Akhanda film. There is a big difference in these two as well. Because just a simple Balaya film, all the Veera Simha Reddy, Bhagwant Kesari, all of that, I'm keeping Daku Maharaj aside because it still kinda stands apart from the rest of the typical Balaya films. But here, what Akhanda was, Akhanda Tandavam is a lot more, much more, too much more also sometimes, but a lot more. One line that stuck with me after speaking, after taking the audience's reaction is that in a film like this, there is no logic, only magic. Wait, no logic, only Balaya magic, because that is all this film is all about. It
This
can
is
be.
cinema, guys. Yes, before getting into further details, I made a video about how Balakrishna is still that only actor who's still holding this genre and delivering massive successes. So that video also, the link will be provided in the description and comment section. Do not miss to check that out as well. Now getting to the review, Bob ready Bob, start camera, action. So this is how Boyapati movie starts, okay? So when he says action, it feels more like a warning to cast and crew, one, because there is so much of exaggerated acting. I think even 1980s acting is still kind of sober if you compare with how Boyapati Sreenu's how he extracts the performances. Second thing is the most action. Thought again, you can troll him, you can ridicule him, but you can't ignore the fact that he's very much aware about how there's no physics, there's no logic, there are a lot of criticism for his films, but he still manages to take it a notch higher with every goddamn film. And how legit there is a fight sequence where there is lotus formation. I don't want to give spoilers because it is for the big screen experience, but the careful choreography of no logic fight sequence in itself is an art, and I feel father of it is Boyapati Srenu.
We can talk about the experience separately and the film separately because
Yes.
these are two whole different things. Let me start with the experience. The experience is fun to watch. It connects in sometimes. There's like 10 different ideas in an action sequence in which you can like five, the next person sitting next to you can like the other five. It's like that. Some points get over exaggerated, some points become really silly, some points look very cool, some points are visually amazing to look at, some points are just stupid. You can give it 10 different names and tags along with each and every creative move that happens all in one sequence, and then multiply that into another 10, and that basically is what the film is. And the experiences, all the drama in between, more like fillers in my opinion.
The potential, see, two things. One is Sanatana Dharma integration. Yeah, there are a lot of films which are forcefully trying to integrate. Again, how are you integrating into it? All of that, are you looking at it as a cash grab? All of that is really important, especially for me. But with Akhanda and Boyapati Srenu, I feel like Boyapati Srenu has been doing this for a while. In every film, irrespective of what is the genre, there is elements of Sanatana Dharma integration. There is elements of Telugu culture that, and he continues to carry that. And second thing is how, irrespective of all this noise around this film, right? The designing of this character called Akhanda, the powers, it is a proper superhero from a mass commercial cinema. It has a potential to become a superhero character of its own. Like you can have comic books around it, because of which I see a lot of potential in how he designs that character every time.
Another thing that worked for me is the whole Taman beauty in the film. Taman, I feel like, has been having a dream run this year. 2025 is officially his. He has taken over it with multiple projects. And you think that he cannot top what he did with OG, and then there is Akhanda. and it is really hard to say which one is
Yeah.
better here. The first part, and Taman also made music for it so loud that speakers were falling off and all of that stuff was there. But it wasn't so catchy in my opinion. I felt like it was loud, it was on the face, it went with the beats of the film, all of that is there. But here the magic, man, from picking up the beats to little Damru music to whatever integration, the connections it has to whatever visual we are seeing on the screen, it feels like it is not just music he was doing, he was also actively being part of the story. Props to Taman, because I don't think the experience would be the same without Taman's music. Without the music, it would really fall extremely flat, in my opinion.
Though brief, all the performances were decent, good. But Adi Pinsetti's performance definitely stood out. I think I especially, considering the way his character was designed and his performance was really good, I wanted more of him in the film.
For sure, this is something we were talking about after the film as well, where I, honestly speaking, in terms of performance, I'm not really a sucker for the old school extra over melodramatic performances, which most of the characters in this film does. But with Adi Pinishetty, I honestly felt like this was one acting performance in the film where, irrespective of the eccentricism of his character, he delivered it so well. It was convincing to see him in that character. Another important thing that really worked for me, connected for me, is the religious integration. Like he said, for me in this film, it felt like he just hit the right notes. He caught on to the right gods to present, and then the aura that these gods have is in itself is enough to just carry a film, right?
Yeah.
Any mediocre film also can be carried with the sheer aura of these gods. Whenever whatever action is happening, no matter how exaggerated, when it is a god man who is doing all these things, you just accept it.
Yes, getting to the things that didn't work for me in the film, I think this has been a constant complaint for me with all Boyapati films and kind of Balakrishna films also. With Akhanda, even the complaint went a notch higher. The movie taking itself too seriously in terms of story, screenplay, logic. That is where the biggest problem lies. See, the lot of fun moments, some part of entertainment also comes from the absurdity of what is happening on big screen, which is something that I should admit. Not everything is about the grand visual or the grand action set pieces. There is equal amount of absurdity, to which laughing to that absurdity,
It is mostly absurdity.
yeah, is what is the entertaining part of the film. But when you're integrating elements like Sanatana Dharma or serious geopolitical situations, and you're bringing army,
Medical situations of the world,
all of that, and if you're telling that you're taking the story movie seriously, then that in a way is also putting us in a position where we are also expected to take that seriously. If not, we can't join the emotional ride that the director wants us to. So Akhanda 2 suffers because the movie takes itself way too seriously, and it is not a good thing.
Whole thing about Akhanda's character in the first part was that he is someone who has abandoned all these humanly things, right? And one of the most core element of human is this, ownership of land, the whole boundaries, nation, countries. That is a core human element, and I feel like that kind of was conveniently left out, and there were these nationalistic elements that were added into the film where, Akhanda is talking about my nation, my land, and all of that, which didn't really go with the character that was established, because he is this man for whom the world is all his, the realm is his. So, yes, that is mentioned in this part as well, but he also, in the very next dialogue, he speaks about my nation. So, it kind of contradicted, and that didn't really sit right. And that is mostly the story in the second half.
Boyapati Sreenu, story, screenplay, editing of the film also. There is a clear difference between being audacious and being stupid. That comes when the writing becomes extremely convenient, and though we are telling that there's no logic, but there is some amount of logic that basic filmmaking demands. I think Akhanda fails there massively. You're talking about geopolitics, you're talking about black magic, you're talking about protecting of Sanatana Dharma. I will give you one small example, mild spoiler. I think they've really revealed it in the trailer also. There's this one incident where a bunch of people are trying to remove faith of people from Sanatana Dharma. And this scene, which they have designed on how big of a scene will happen, for which the consequence would be people will lose trust on Sanatana Dharma, or gods that they believe in. Everything is convenient. See, Boyapati Sreenu heroes being Oxford University students, or Stanford, Oxford, all these big, all of that is there. Here also there's one convenient 16-year-old DRDO. See, all of that, it is convenient in stupid locations, problems. There is a big army waiting to fight, and one man is just
Yeah,
going
we
and
can't
fighting.
name the nation because the film doesn't name the nation, but
Yeah.
it is quite obvious what they are talking about. The COVID-19 epidemic that we all.
Bio shield that DRDO came up with. So movie talks a lot of meta. See, again, that's the thing, right? It takes itself too seriously. Why? You can't carry a vaccine in a Miniso bag. There is some convenience, some logic is okay. To this level is really something that they should really work on. Again, Boyapati Sreenu works on emotion, not story. But with this kind of story, I think emotion also only does so much of heavy lifting.
I will kind of put it in a different way. I felt like the film in itself was. I don't think it was confused. I just feel like it just didn't care enough to think whether it is in the stupid movie genre, or in the religious movie genre, or in the action movie genre, or in the patriotic movie genre. It tried to just go all of it, and the stupid movie tag also comes along, because there are a lot of moments where you feel like what the hell is going on, and just go with it, because that is all you can do while watching a film like this. I felt like that whole chase sequence where Harshali Malhotra is just running on the snow. was just, oh wow, these are really. Yes, all films have really crappy shooters, but then these were even more worse than usual. There were people who were holding guns, trying to go and stab Balaya with the gun.
Well, obviously they will
going to
ban Chumma one gun waste.
Everybody is going to stab him. All of these things felt like, oh wow, it's just a Balaya film.
Yes, overall, again, like we said, there are two ways of looking at this movie. One, objectively, the film. Two, the experience of watching a film like this. In terms of experience, though second half, especially towards the climax, falls flat. But till then, it is very, very entertaining. Like sometimes about the absurdity, or sometimes about the good execution. But yeah, talking about the film, I think in terms of filmmaking, cinematography, technicalities, other than Thaman, every other department, including story writing, could have been much, much, much better.
It's like this is a genre that only Balaya should do and nobody else, because I don't think anybody else will be accepted by the viewers the way Balaya is in this genre. It's a package that you should be ready to eat. You should feel that hunger here. It should be all empty for you to take it in, and then you should have a strong gut to digest it all.
Yeah, before ending, one wild thought which is not at all wild for Boyapati Sreenu is Akhanda 4, which is going to be international. There can be, yeah, Akhanda 4, Maharudra Tandavam.
What
Akhanda
happened
4.
to 3?
It will be something pan-India only, then it will go pan-international, no? 4. Superhero will become more big. After interval bug, there will be the classic Boyapati preaching scene, right? There will be a scene where Hulk, Captain America, Batman, all of them are sitting, and both are not same kind of one big monologue our Balaya is giving as Akhanda, which is not at all an over-the-top thought if it is Balaya. That's it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, like, share and subscribe. And if you watch the film, I want to know what is your reaction. And most importantly, your experience of watching Akhanda in big screens. Please do mention that in the comment section below.
With that, I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And this is Maruthi Acharya.
And you're watching India Today.